Oh, right. You know what? When somebody asks for help, that's what I'm here for. So if I can help with this OBS thing, I'll show you what I do. Now, what I'm going to be showing you is simply from the standpoint of how to set some stuff up real quick. We'll get into the coin stuff. We'll get into the general discussion. I know I'm a little bit early, but I'm just going to basically target this towards Eric for just a few moments. So if you're ready, send me a thumbs up in the chat, Eric, and I will kind of walk through um, the general OBS setup. So are you using, hey, Jackalope, what's going on, brother? Doing a quick walkthrough, quick tutorial for Eric. I'm starting just a couple minutes early so I can walk him through kind of some of this stuff and show him some of the differences. So I am going to share my screen real quick and you're going to see my OBS. Now, just ignore, let me change the foundation. So I'll put one of my old ones up so you can actually change the screen. There's my numismatic nexus. I'll show this. It'll be easier to oh, getting coffee 1 second. Okay, so I'll hold on for just a moment. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show him how to set up a his coin scope in OBS. This is Streamlabs OBS. This is Streamlabs desktop. So I'll be just kind of going through that real quick. It's going to be really fast. We're going to be talking about coins and stuff here just a minute. But one of my subscribers asked a question, and I told you that if I know or if I can get you the information, I'm going to share it with you. And so I'm like, hey, I can do that. And don't worry about doing that. But I got this little pin message down here, and it states that no question is stupid except the one you choose not to ask. If there is anything that you want to ask, now granted, I'm not going to always give you the answer if you ask something about personal, but if you're asking about something and I can help you, then we'll do that. All right. So what you're going to do is when you get set up, you have this center tab. Now, again, I'm utilizing Streamlabs desktop. Okay. So what you're going to do is you want to create a kind of a desktop, a source. So you're going to come down here and you're going to click on sources, and then you're going to choose what kind of source that you're going to be looking for. Your camera is going to be a video capture device. So you'll choose your video capture device, and then you'll come down here and you'll click on add source. Okay. Now, when you come to the add source, you're going to see I've already added that. Now I've got my microscope here, but I'm going to act like I don't have one. So I'm going to come down here where it says add new source, and I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to type this up. So I'm going to do scope 2. Okay, this will kind of tell me that this is the second scope. I'll delete this afterwards, but then I'm going to go ahead and add the source. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to choose my item here. Now my USB camera is off, but I know that it's going to be my USB camera. You could see the other ones that are here. So I could, let's say I wanted to use my GoPro. I would have my GoPro set up so you could see that it displays here. I would set my, you could configure your information in your video here and click on closed. And now you have under sources, you have your scope 2. So when you go to set up your scenes and you go to look up information, then when you click a scene and you go to add some information, then you can come over here and I'm going to jump over into presentation mode. You can see that I don't have my coin scope here. So I could come over here and I could click add sources because I want to add this to this particular scene or this actual setup here. It's obviously camera connection error because my GoPro is not turned on, but I'll click on the plus here and then I'll come over here. And then what I'll do is I'll click video capture device. I'll say next. I'll navigate to the scope 2. You can see that's here. I'll add the source. And then you can see that the source was added here. Now, they go in hierarchy. So the one on the top is the one that's most in the front. And if I want to have this more in the back, then I would just simply drag this down to the bottom. And now you can see the screen that I have is here. So that's basically how you would add one in OBS Streamlabs. You and I can talk a little bit more later about how to do more of this, but I just wanted to kind of give you a quick overview. It's not hard to do. There's just a couple little things that you need to understand when you start, but overall, it's not that bad. Does that make sense? But email me and we'll coordinate a time. We'll do a private session Yeah, no worries. Happy to help, bud. Um, again, these kind of things, hey, I'm a little bit nerd. Now, Great Scott did a lot to help me set up originally when I was setting it up because I was having a difficult time understanding what all the terminology and thing was. So Great Scott really walked me through really well. So any information that I can again forward on, I'm more than happy to do so. So I definitely, yeah, so OBS desktop is fine, and then I just pair it with Streamlabs. Now I do like right now, I'm utilizing StreamYard, because eventually I'm gonna have people up on panel. It's easier to have people up on panel in StreamYard than it is Streamlabs. But a majority of what I do, hey, Eric, how's it going? You're under copper coins, brother. Good to see you in here though. Hope everything's going well. Hope you had a good time with Chuck visiting. It's all good, bud. I know as soon as I see it, I love seeing copper coins come in. It makes me feel good, right? Hey, look at that. Check who's here. Yeah. But I know exactly who it was. But anyway, yeah, we'll connect. Now there's something else that's going to happen. There's Eric Bayer. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. There is something else I was asked about today, or asked, excuse me, yesterday in the live stream, and that was about talking a little bit about what's called the Three Sisters coin set. So I did a little bit of research on that. I've got a pretty cool little tutorial about that. Taking me about 15 minutes or so. So that is going to be something that I want to do. I'm going to wait and see if the person who asked for it shows up in chat. So we'll give it a little bit of time. But I am going to talk about that. Then I'll kind of open it up and have people come up on panel, and we'll do what our normal Sunday is, just chit chat about whatever comes up, whatever questions are there. So real quick, I need to ask if anybody, you know me, it's got to be the joke thing, right? It's just what I do. Anybody know, or has anybody ever seen this? Whoops, hold on. I hate it when I do that. Share screen, choose the screen. Has anybody ever seen this? Let me get rid of that. All right. Has anybody ever seen this? Do you guys know what this is? Yeah, dad jokes. There we are. That's me, right? I need to actually get that. I need to get that turned on and have the dad jokes come in. I think that needs to be a part of my stream. So just if you can, just an emoji symbol, raise your hand and let me know if you've ever seen this. Um, exactly. Yeah, I know that. That's why I wanted to bring that up this morning. I picked that up probably a little while ago. I just hadn't really thought about doing this. Um, and the reason that this is important is if, or the why, not necessarily even important, but it goes to communication, right? And if you've seen some of my latest shorts, you've seen that one thing I'm kind of, and I wouldn't say that I'm on a mission, but one thing I'm doing is I'm looking at videos, and I don't care if they're coming from reputable sources. I don't care if they're coming from people who are brand new to the hobby. I don't care if they are people like Coins of Rosie, who almost everything they spit out is misinformation. Just because they don't really care, they're writing scripts. They're just trying to get views. Um, but when I was looking at language, we all talk differently. We all speak differently. We all say things differently. And so this is one of the lessons in that. So how many people have actually seen this before? Because if you haven't, um, yeah, yeah. See, I love Jackalope. That's awesome. I love that joke. You know what I need to do though? I kind of got ahead of myself. I need to do some hellos. So me, I know you're here. Thanks, brother. I got your emails. Actually, I got two of your emails. I responded to one. I will call you about the other one later on. EMR, thanks for being here. I appreciate you asking the question, coming on early so that I could kind of do a quick rundown of Streamlabs OBS for you. Jackalope Herdmaster, as always, it's great to see you in the streams. Siren Silver Sash, hon, I love you. Thank you for being here. Great mod. I appreciate you. Shift Kickers in the house. Good to see you, Shift Kicker. Thanks for being in here. Moose Ox is here, and so is Coin Junkie AG, my coin brother from a Canadian mother. Good to see you in the stream. Thank you very much for being here. AZ Coins, good morning. Hope you are doing well and staying cool. Let's see. Who else do I have? Who else do I have? Have I missed Copper Coins? Well, obviously that's Eric. It's still good. I love to see Copper Coins. I love to see that name in here. So it's good to see everybody. Wes Stacks, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being in and coming in. JC likes spam. Hey, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you coming in. Armando from the vault. How you doing, Armando? It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right. So what you're seeing on the screen is if you don't know what it is, people see this and they say Mr. Snakes, Mr. Not Snakes, Smurf Snakes, No Day, CBDDB. What the hell is this, right? But you have to, if I tell you, you have to kind of talk with the Southern accent or a Southern draw. Does it help? Well, let me speak it for you. MR snakes. MR not snakes. SMR snakes. No, they ain't. See the itty bitty eyes? LIB. MR snakes. I love that one. It makes me laugh. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys this morning just because uh, I'm trying to have more fun in my streams and kind of be a little bit more of a cornball. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Oh, it wouldn't be me without a little bit of a dad joke. Just a couple updates for those of you that know that I am battling eye issues. I did get my second surgery coordinated. It will be on the 26th of September. So I will be out for probably 3 or 4 days while my eye recovers. Again, have to kind of stay away from the screens for a few days while I'm doing that. But I'm working on building videos, building content, getting stuff out. I should be okay to conduct that following weekend's stream. If not, I'll be working with somebody to have them fill in the spot for that. But I was able to do it last time, not a big deal. I just have to kind of have things set up ahead of time. So I'm really working to get ahead of that. I've got shorts covered for the week prior. I'm working on shorts for that week, trying to work to where I get shorts scheduled for a couple weeks out to make sure that you guys have good, solid content and a lot of things to look at while I am recovering from eye surgery. And I can't tell you how happy I'm going to be when this is finally done. Um, the other thing is, I was asked yesterday. That's how we do it in here in North Carolina. Yes, that's MR snakes. Um, I was asked about a particular um, coin yesterday in the stream, and I want to talk a little bit about. Hey, God is great. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Um, when people ask, like if they tell me that they have a collection and I'm not sure about it or I don't know what it is, if somebody asks me to do some background work on that particular item and they want me to look into it, then I'm going to do so. And yesterday, and I have to excuse me if I forget the name, asked me about the coin called the Three Graces. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this, so I'm going to go ahead and share this real quick. And I'm going to kind of talk with you a little bit about this particular coin. Now, again, the Three Graces, what you're seeing here is an artistic representation by Sandro Botticelli. Now, I don't know if anybody's familiar with what the Three Graces are. The Three Graces, basically, what they are um, the daughters of Zeus. But there's a lot of information regarding kind of where they came from and how important they are within Greek mythology, or in something better known as the antiquity, right? Which is when you're talking about things like Greece and Sparta and Troy and Carthage and all of those. Now, What you're seeing here again is Sandro Botticelli. Now, Sandro Botticelli did this particular La Primavera in about 1477, 1482. And this was one of the defining items that was utilized in the design of the Three Graces coin. But I want to tell you a little bit about what the Three Graces are because the story behind it, in my opinion, is fascinating. And if you like mythology, a lot of people think that the first god of love, Aphrodite, or Venus, if you're looking at uh, Greek mythology, most people know her by the Roman mythology of Aphrodite, was the god of love. But the Three Graces were actually there at the time of Aphrodite's birth. So the Three Graces predate. Now, being the daughters of Zeus, there were three of them, and they stand for something very specific. So the first one that you have is Aglaia, excuse me, which represented radiance. You have Euphrosyne, who represented joy, and you have Thalia, who represented the flowering or the coming of age, the embodiment of a woman who's going woman becoming a woman, right, turning into womanhood. And again, they were there at the birth, at the coming in of Aphrodite or Venus. And so from early antiquity, the time of Greece and Carthage and Troy and Rome, uh, these have been put on frescoes. These have been put on drawings. They have been sculptures and things done. Looking back to Raphael or Picasso back in 1 BC, look in that time frame. There's a lot of these things that had come to play, and this was stooped in tradition. This was something that was really big all throughout this time frame. And as I started to kind of look through here, there were a couple things. Now, this is the actual coin. So what you're seeing are, if you go to the Royal Mint and you were to pull this up, these are the coins. This is the representations you would see. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about each one of these. But who was the artist? What did they do? What was the deciding point? Why did they choose this particular item? And just kind of go over a couple items because, again, one of my viewers asked me to pull up some information about this, and I wanted to do some due diligence for this. So William Winan, who is and you see the RA next to the name, that stands for Royal Artist. It's the Society of Royal Arts. It's a very specific group of individuals. You have to be invited to this. You can't just come into it. There is this whole society. I actually happen to know one of them passed away. His name was Arnold Freeberg. He was also a Society of the Royal Arts because he painted the Queen's portrait as well as Prince Charles on his horse. But when you see that RA, just understand that that stands for Royal Artist. Now, William Winan really enjoyed the idea of the Three Graces, but he wanted to try to find something about the history. So he looked at Botticelli, he looked at Picasso, he looked at all these. But what he settled on with an idea stemmed from this man right here, Antonio Canavas. Now, if you look at the image right here, this is the statuary that he created. This is a close up. If you look at it, you can see the close up detail of the faces. You can see kind of that the love, the joy, the satisfaction. You can see that the flowering here. You can see the joy. You can't see her face here, but here you can see she's happening. She's smiling and she's really happy about what's going on. And so he really pulled from him in his art. Now, when you look at the mixture of the painting from Botticelli and then the art sculpture, you can see that the rendition that he had that actually made it to the coin. Now, there's slight modifications here, but you can see the sculpture that he created from his medallic art actually ended up being really, really cool. Um, and again, it came from these people. So what they ended up with was this. And so as you can see, you have the gold piece. This came in 2 ounce and 5 ounce in silver and gold. And then this is the nice little fancy display case that it came in. Now, when you're talking about these particular coins, One reason they're so highly collectible is that they were so small in the mintage. So the 2-ounce silver was only a mintage of 3,500. The 5-ounce silver was only a mintage of 500. The 5-ounce gold was only a mintage of 150, and the 2-ounce gold was only a mintage of 325. Now, the gentleman who asked about this actually has 3 of the 4 pieces. He has the 2-ounce gold, he has the 2-ounce silver, and he has the 5-ounce silver proofs, if I'm not mistaken, if I understood what he was talking about correctly. And so he asked a little bit about the history, do something about that, do some research on it. So I provided that basically for him. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you. But before I kind of get off of this and we turn into just our normal chit chat and I open up the panel, I want to kind of talk to you about some of the values of these. Okay, so the 2-ounce originally sold for about 185 pounds or about $225. The 5-ounce sold for 465 pounds or around $650. Now, mind you, all of these are sold out, very small quantities. The gold 5-ounce sold for 5,000 pounds. That's about $6,400. And then, excuse me, the 2-ounce gold sold for about $5,000, but the 5-ounce sold for an amazing $12,000. Now you're talking about a mintage of 150. So the coins now are looking, because that 12,000 pounds is about $15,000. So when you're looking at the coins now, the values are astronomical. So if you happen across one of these that come in the case, it has the COA, you're looking at it doesn't matter what the numbers are low. But if you have the opportunity, you can find these fairly close to these ranges. This is definitely something you want to look into because again, the mintages on these are so low that they've just shot up dramatically in price. So, all right. Well, again, I just wanted to take a moment. I started out helping with Eric. These are questions that come in. Again, I want to do this first, make sure that people understand that. And then somebody asked me in the stream yesterday to talk more about this today. So I wanted to share that with you. Just a quick little tutorial about the 3 coins, a little bit of the history, who the artists were, what their representation was, where they got their insights from. Hope you enjoyed that. I know people kind of come in and come out, but do me a favor when you come in. I'm going to start doing a thing where I'm going to give away probably like a silver dime at 50 likes. And if I can get to 100 likes on my Saturday and Sunday streams, I'm going to start giving away a piece of silver. It may be a 40%, it may be a 90%, it may be a silver ounce, it may be a half ounce, it may be a couple grams. But again, be smashing those likes. I really want people to start coming into the stream. I don't care if they come in, they hit a couple, we get to there, and then we go. But when we hit those milestones, I'll be running names, I'll be running numbers. So again, make sure you come into the stream, make sure you're smashing the like. This is for every Saturday and Sunday moving forward. Okay. I did it yesterday in the premier train just as a kind of I'm first my first time in, wanted to kind of spark people, but actually get people to watch the video, get engaged with it. um, but I want people to be able to do that. So again, smash those likes as you come in, share this stuff out, and we'll be doing that stuff. I will still randomly do my little winner thing, um, because that's just something that I do. I enjoy doing that. So periodically I will do that. That is something that is absolutely random. I will tell you periodically when I'm putting that in, but for the most part, that winner command that I'm put in, it's and again, it's only for me. Um, that will be kind of just a random, hey, I want to do this. The 50 like and the 100 like is a way for me to kind of engage with everybody else. But what I really want to do is if you are engaging in chat, I want to give you a reward for that. And so we'll do that command for that. So Compton, hey, good to see you. Thanks for being in here. Frosty, your name should be teacher. Well, actually, we already have a teacher in the coin community, so it would be terrible for me to name teacher. People would get confused. Frostbite Coins and Collectibles. If people don't know, my mother was a uh, snowman and my dad was a vampire. So Frostbite. I'm just kidding. Um, my name actually came from playing a game, and the game was a 3 match RPG, and one of the people helped me come up with my name because I do a lot of IT, a lot of tech support. So they said I was pretty cool, IT, so I came up with Frostbite. That's kind of how I got the name. Yeah, me, I like random. But again, there are people who are lurkers, who don't come into the stream very often, just because they may be socially awkward or they just don't like to chat. They may be just here to listen. They want to support the channel. A lot of people don't understand that if you're not entering into chat, you're not getting watch hours. So if you're not engaging in chat, then that time frame doesn't count towards your watch hours. Now it does for your video. You can watch a video. You don't have to comment on a video. You don't even have to like the video. But if you're watching somebody's videos, they'll get the watch hours from the videos. But in a live stream, you have to be engaged, and that clock recycles about every 10 to 15 minutes. So you need to be putting stuff in there periodically, like Brown Sugar just did, entering that dot in there, just to make sure that something is done. Now, emojis do not work. So if you're putting an emoji in like a hi, the emoji doesn't work. And so if you're just doing emojis, it will not come up. Blistering barnacles, exactly. Some people don't want to chat. Some people just like to watch and do whatever, and that's fine. You don't have to be engaged, not a big deal. I don't mind that at all. But if you want to help me with watch hours, then all I ask is that every 10, 15 minutes or so, that's only a couple times during the stream, just put a dot in there, say hi to somebody, whatever. If you hear something or you do whatever, then go ahead and just like I said, enter the dot, enter a couple dots, say hi to somebody that comes into the stream or whatnot. If you see one of your buddies pop in, say hi to them. Just as long as there's some sort of engagement, and that definitely helps the flow. Roxzilla, thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming in. Yeah, no worries, lurking. I completely get it. I don't expect everybody to be engaged all the time. I am here to entertain you. I am here to give you information. If somebody wants to know something about it, that's what I'm here for, right? I do these live streams because I enjoy it. Um, yeah, see, and Eric, I do that all the time. I will turn on somebody's live stream. Matter of fact, while I was working the video, while I was working the video um, or this little presentation last night, I sat down and turned on Gold Sniping Farmers playlist and just let it play in the background. Um, Periodically ran over and stopped in and said hi to like Big Flip and stuff like that, just to kind of gauge a little bit. But I kept that playlist running in the background. Videos, again, it's not a problem, but when you're in somebody's live stream, again, do them the favor and just periodically put that little dot in there or do something like that. So I posted in just a few moments ago. If anybody wants to come up on channel, if you want to chit chat, you're more than welcome to do so. Um, if there's um, if there's anything that I can do, if you have any questions about coins or something. Now, I did get a really cool email from somebody. I don't know where that went. So let me go ahead and copy that back in. I'll actually pin that. So let me do this. And then oh man, I can't do it from here. Hold on. I hate it when I do that. Why does it do that? Oh, it's because I closed it. Okay. I have to open up this new thing in order for me to see that. All right. So we've got all right. Where's my chat? Hey, what's up, Snoopy Stacks? Okay, there we go. Now I can actually go through and pin that. I forget that I have to be on the YouTube side in order to pin. I can't do it from the Streamlabs side or StreamYard side, excuse me. Snoopy, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. I hope you went hope you had fun. I missed your guys' stream the other day, uh, trying to catch up and get stuff ready for the premiere train and do my videos. And then I got confirmation that I was having eye surgery. And so trying to get things caught up. So I apologize. I haven't been in the stream very much lately. Um, it's just been one thing after another. Again, another car repair. It's going to cost me another 2 grand. Just like, man, it's time for a new car. That's like 35 or 3,600 bucks in a month. So no, thank you. Um, Good morning, beautiful peeps. Yeah, we got 18 fabulous people in here. We got 19 likes. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you guys throwing the likes in there. Um, but the panel's open. It's pinned. If anybody wants to come up and chat about anything, if there's anything in the news or something that somebody wants to chit chat about. Um, oh yeah, no worries about that. Perplexed mind. We get it. Just be safe, right? Drive carefully. Me does that every once in a while. Um, yeah, dude, Compton, it is what it is. My wife and I joke with each other all the time. It's like, when are we going to be able to get ahead, right? Um, we start doing really well, and then freaking food prices go through the roof, and it's like, good lord. Um, we went from spending $1,800 a month in food to almost $3,500 a month. Just, man, things are just so stinking expensive nowadays. Um, it really talks to making sure you put some money away for emergencies, make sure you have stuff set aside. If you stack, make sure that have stuff that you can turn over really quickly in case of an emergency. Um, yeah, it is what it is. But again, what you don't want to do is you don't want to force yourself or get yourself into a position where you're behind, right? You're talking stackers theory. Looking at Yeah, me, I can't even. Every time I see your videos about your 5, 6, $700 truck stops for fuel, I just was like, that's a quarter ounce of gold. That's that's a whole tube of Silver Eagles. It's just, yeah, it's ridiculous. But again, that's exactly my point, Eric. Yeah, you don't want to go backwards, right? You don't want to if you're going to do this hobby, there's a couple things that you need to do to set yourself up for success. Number 1, stay within your means. And staying within your means means staying under your means, right? There's the 50, 20, 30 rule. I don't know if anybody's heard of the 50, 20, 30 rule, but 50% of your expenses should revolve around your requirements, your car payments, your food, lightings, utilities, cell phones, the things that you have to get stuff done. 20% of your pay should go to investment, savings, things of that nature. And then 30% goes to your normal living, enjoyment, whatever playtime type of stuff you want to do. That is the 50, 20, 30 rule. But I would suggest that you don't subscribe to that. Try to subscribe to the 50, 20, 30 rule, but take out 10% of the 50, take out 5% of the 30, and take 10% of that and put it into some sort of precious metals, art, something where you can uh, diversify things like your savings, diversify investment, your portfolios, your stocks, cryptocurrency, whatever it is, and make sure that you actually change that. You want to have, and if you are a pure collector and you want to collect items that are high in numismatic value or just have that high artistic thing, utilize that 10% for that, right? But make sure you're putting money into your 401k or your Roth IRA. Make sure you're putting money into stocks, bonds, yields. Make sure you're putting money into, if you do crypto, I don't personally do crypto. The only type of Bitcoin I have is the gold piece that's been chewed on to make sure that it was real. Um, I don't personally do the whole crypto thing. I did years and years ago, uh, but just not something that I'm interested in. Um, so Rockzilla, that's exactly right. But here's the thing. This is why the 50-20-30 rule is not something good in my opinion. Okay. I would rather see a 40-20-25 rule and leave that 15% availability for the cost of inflation and things like that. Because what happens is the 50-20-30 rule, if you tax yourself out at 100%, you are living above your means. You are not prepared for emergency situations. You are not prepared for things that are beyond your control. I don't have any vehicle payments either, me. But that's one thing. I paid double payments on my car, got that thing paid for, and I'm done. Um, but you want to make sure that you have, and you can love or you can hate people like Dave Ramsey. They talk about that, your $1,000 savings. That's so far back in the past. That number doesn't even come close to what you need. You need to have 2,000 to $2,500 in an emergency savings account for things like my AC in the car went out. It's 100 degrees in Texas. It's a $1,900, $1,800 repair. If I only had $1,000 put away, I'd be in trouble, right? So you want to make sure that you invest appropriately. So that 50-20-30 rule, I think that's bad advice. Uh, Live under your means. Save yourself 10 or 15%. Do 40-20-25. That gives you 50%, 15% that you can invest in something you can put away. If you want to put it into precious metal, something that you can turn around and get the money back and then have that as a quick asset, um, then do so, right? But don't live to that 50-20-30 rule, because if you live to that 50-20-30 rule, you will be living over your means. You won't be prepared for things like that. So make sure you don't abide specifically by that particular train of thought. I watched a couple of videos on that the other day, and the whole time I sat there just going, I understand the concept, but if you're living where every dollar is accounted for, how are you ever going to get ahead? Right? Put extra into my mortgage. Oh man, if you want to talk finance win, right? How many people in here have a 30-year mortgage? Right? Okay, so and I'm not an investment coach. I am not a strategist. I am not a multimillionaire. I live paycheck to paycheck. I have bills. I have debt. Um, I I have more debt in the last 2 years because of extenuating circumstances, because I was living at my means, and now forcing myself into understanding more and really learning about uh, the economy and where we're at. And oh my God, I need to be smart. Um, we do own our own house and land. See, but here's the thing. Okay, so let's say that somebody has a 30-year mortgage and you have the capability. So let's say that you live by that 40-20-25 rule. Okay. And you have that extra 15%. And that money is earmarked for an emergency. That money is earmarked for strategy. That money is earmarked for plans. If anything happens, you have it. It's ready access, cash money. You got it. You can go fix the AC. You can get somebody out to fix the AC in your house. If you have something, you have road damage or something like that, and you have to, buy two new tires, and you find out that you need to replace all four, you don't have to use a credit card or anything. You have ready access money available to you. Um, you can do that. But if you really want to get ahead, if you really want, hey, what's up, Steve Lapointe? Thanks for coming in. What's going on, John Shank? Um, if you really want to get ahead and you want to pay your mortgage down, a couple $100 a month is amazing, right? Um, it's It's amazing what you can do. If you can take your mortgage payment and split it to every 15 days. So let's say that you have a $1,500 mortgage payment. I know that's high for some of you, it's low for others. If you have a $1,500 mortgage payment and you split that to pay $800 or $900. So you pay a little bit extra and you pay that every 2 weeks. So you're making bi-monthly payments. You'll pay your house down in like 16 years on a 30-year note because you're going to have way more money going to principal. Now you can work out the double payment options with your bank or your credit union, whoever it's financed through. Um, make sure it's there. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you have that money available to you. So if something happens and you can't do that, make sure that don't put yourself into a pickle. Um, but you have to take into account all sorts of things when you're talking about money. You have to take into account unplanned hikes for taxes. You have to look at people doing uh, taxes, or we're talking about increasing taxes on silver or gold, or you talk about increases in your normal food intake, and the general cost of living increases exponentially over the course of a year. You're looking at transportation costs rising, gas rising. I mean, God, how many of you work or live in an area where your cost of living right now, the gas is 3.50 to under $4 a gallon? Not very many people. I know some places in California are at 5.50 a gallon. That's nuts. But if you don't plan for that kind of stuff and you're living at your means, when those kind of when those kind of things happen, you're going to put yourself in a very difficult situation. And so again, I do not subscribe to that 50/30/20 rule. I don't think it's a good strategy. Again, I am not a financial advisor. Um, I'm just telling you based off of mistakes that I've made, trying to follow strategies that are hard and fast. If you do not leave yourself any room for unexpected increases, you're going to end up having to struggle, put yourself in trouble. And you don't want to do that, right? So, again, if you can, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can only pay an extra $100 or extra $150 a month towards your house, right? Now, I will tell you, rent at 1,650 in San Antonio is steep, but in California, it's not that much. So it depends on where you're at, and cost of living in your associated area. Now, yeah, see, and this is where I was talking. So, Steve, yeah, 1,600 dollars in New York, that's expected. But there are places where there's apartments that you're spending a lot more than 1,650 bucks, right? The one thing about and renting a house, especially if you're doing things like renting to own, or you're looking at doing where you lease to own an option, um, then yeah, you've definitely got some issues. But where you're in a situation where all you can do is rent, there's some people that will never buy a home. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, but I can't imagine spending $1,800 a month for an apartment where I actually have no opportunity to grow or invest or actually make a purchase towards the stuff that I've been spending money on. Now, even in a renting situation, the money that you're putting in, unless you're in a rent to own agreement, have something like that, that money is not going towards the purchase price of the home. You have to have an agreement set up. If you're in a situation like that, you definitely want to have a good contract. Make sure you talk to a financial advisor. Um, you know, Conference an attorney and make sure you protect yourself. But that is something where if you're renting to own, then you're good because you're actually investing in that. But not everybody can do that. Not everybody even has an interest in doing that. And so um, my dog is driving me nuts. Wish I could get her to be quiet. But can you hear her barking in the background? Like she will not shut up. I don't know what's going on. I think the elder one just checked her for a minute. She just yelped. I think the older dog got yeah, I think the older dog just got tired of it. Um, Yeah, and the other thing is, again, when you're looking at, and we're talking about, I don't really, again, I'm not a financial dude. I can only talk about mistakes that I've made. Um, but when you're looking at mortgages and stuff like that, when you when you start to look at reducing the amount of money that you put out every month, whether you're doing bill consolidation loans, whether you're doing whatever, get really, really good sound advice, not from somebody who's trying to sell you a mortgage or a rate reduction loan, but talk to a genuine financial expert and talk about the positives before you make snappy decisions. This economy is rough, and you can make a hasty decision listening to some of these mortgage people thinking that you're doing something really good, and you can get one of these variable rate mortgages, and man, you're locked in. You think you're set because you're sitting at 4.2%, and then all of a sudden that variable rate bumps up to 8.9 or 10.5%, and now your $1,000 mortgage is a $1,900 mortgage payment. Be very careful, right? So make sure you, and sometimes it costs money to consult an expert, but you're far better off to talk to a financial expert and get good advice than to just make hasty and snap decisions. So please don't do that. Now, when you're talking about interest rates, I've seen people, Snoopy got one at 3.25%. That's a really good interest rate. I will tell you mine, but you guys got to promise not to hate me. I got a 30-year fixed rate at the very, very bottom at 2.1%. It's actually, I think it's 2.125%. I got it at the very, 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 very bottom. It's probably the lowest interest rate you could get. Now, my first home back in 1998, I thought I was doing really good when I got a rate of 6.8%. Um, and people are now saying 50, well, that's 15-year. I'm talking about a 30-year note. I should have done 15. Um, but yeah, that's 15 at 1.85. That's bottom of the barrel. You probably refinanced your house at the exact same time I refinanced mine. But yeah, it's a stellar rate. But I have people all the time saying, you have X number dollar profit in your house. We'll give you a 3.6% interest rate. We'll take a point off or we'll take 2 points off, and you can roll all of your debt into one, and then you only have one payment. And it's just, I laugh because it's like the amount of money I'm paying each month, I'm I'm losing money. Why in the world would you tell me that this is a good idea? So really be very, very careful when you're looking at doing that kind of stuff. Because again, man, you can really burn yourself. So when you're talking about strategies, the only advice I give you is do not subscribe to that 50-30-20 rule. Okay. Or 50-20-30 rule. Okay. Make it 40-20-25, and take that extra 15% and invest it into emergency. And if you want to put it into silver, you want to put it into gold, if you want to put it into your mortgage, if you want to pay off your other debts with it, that's fine. But leave that money readily available. Do not tie that extra 15% of your income up. Leave it available to you. If you want to put it into something and pay extra on it, cool. That's great. Feast when you can feast, but when famine hits, you want that extra money to make sure that you're covering some of the essentials, especially food and times of emergency. So make sure that you have a lot of, make sure you're careful with that. Eric Bayer says, my first house was 1893. Oh, Eric, I am not insinuating you were that old. 1983 at 17.5%. Yeah, see, and my grandparents were talking about how they got a great rate at 9.8%. Um, Now I saw something up above where Jeff Davis said I paid $8,500 for my first house in 1975. My great grandparents bought their house in California for like $5,600 or something like that. And it's amazing when you see the turnarounds of inflation that it's a multi-million dollar home now, right? It's insane. You look at some of the properties they have, well, before they passed away, they had sold everything and kind of got down. They had a trailer with on a good fair plot of land, and that land is worth millions of dollars, right? It's just it's insane to see how the prices of things have gone up, especially when you're talking about investment properties or investment strategies. Um, to look at what's happened in the last 30, 40, 50 years, some of the increases in a market. I know that when I went into the Navy in around 91, 92, I had the opportunity and bought a little plot of land, uh, half acre, nothing major. It was small, but I was paying on it while I was in the Navy. Had the opportunity to sell it, bought it for 15,000. And that was back 91. Had the opportunity to sell it when I got out of the Navy for 35,000, turned a $20,000 profit real quick. I was able to utilize that, paid my car off, was actually able to give my grandfather some money so that he could pay some bills off. Thought I was doing really, really well. The guy who I went in on that piece with, we bought a 1 acre property. I got half acre of it. He sold his about 15 years later for 385,000. So again, when you're talking about investment strategies, make sure you're consulting with an investment person. There's a lot of stuff that I have given away over the years by thinking that I was smarter than I am, especially when it comes to the stock market. Do your research. Don't be jumpy. Make sure you pay attention to those types of things. All right. It's like the more you know, the more you got to do. Yeah, exactly. Right. If you want to invest in something, and you want to increase your wealth, there's the old adage, you got to spend money to make money, but time is money. So that money may not come in the form of ones and zeros. It may come in the form of, an hour here, 2 hours there, reading this, reading that, understanding market fluctuation, understanding, looking at financial sheets, right? Looking at silver and gold prices, buying when the price of silver drops, don't sell when the price is high. Um, hold on to your stuff for a little while because it may come down. You may be able to buy an opportunity if you see the bottom of silver uh, flooding out, like, we're at $25. Next thing you know, we're at 22. Don't drop your stack. Keep it because this is a time to buy, not a time to do that. So, understanding the strategies of when to buy, when to sell, kind of stuff like that. Spray can coins, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you coming in. Um, Make sure you smash that like on your way, and if you don't mind, we have 23 people in chat, and we have 26 likes. Again, if we get to 50 likes, I'm going to give something away. So make sure you're smashing that like. If you've already smashed the like and you push it, make sure it doesn't take it away. I tend to do that myself. Go over, try to smash it. Hitting the like button 30 times will not increase the number of likes that are given. But I do appreciate you all for coming in. So ironically, this day has not really been about coins at all. We talked about at the start. We got on with EMR with some tech support, and then we moved to a little bit about some coins, but then we kind of moved into some investment and being smart with your money. I'll tell you right now that if there was any lesson, parents, if you have young kids, if I can give any, I'll call myself an expert parent because I've made so many mistakes. I can tell you what not to do. But if there's one piece of advice that I would give you, if there's one thing that you can do to really benefit your children, people talk about leaving a legacy, building wealth. having money set aside, giving them a retirement, making sure they have something for their inheritance. If you really want to do your kids good, teach them about money. Teach them how to save it. Teach them about spending it. Teach them the importance of credit, but understand the discipline that goes with it. Teach them responsibility. Teach them kindness. Teach them respect. And teach them that it's okay to disagree. There are people in the chat right now who I do not agree with politically, and that's fine. We don't have to. There are people in here who are stackers, hardcore stackers, that think that collecting is a waste. That's fine. I don't mind. You do you. If I have a question about stacking, I know who I'm going to go talk to because they're going to give me an honest front, true hardcore stacker insight. If you are a hardcore avid collector and you only stack the things that you think are pretty, go for it. If you want to spend your money that way, you understand numismatic value and you can get good value for the items that you can do, go for it, do it. I am all for it. If you want to be a stack collector, and I heard that yesterday, well, I don't know if it was from Ringmaster Ray. I don't remember who the stack collector came from, but I love the phrase. I'm going to use it from here on out. But if you like to stack and collect, right, then get people on each side of the fence who are hardcore collectors, who are diehard collectors, coin shops, hobbyists, whatever it is that love that. Find your hardcore stacking friends. Find the people who are really good at investment portfolio strategy, and then find somebody in the community who has money. Because if I can give you one lesson about making money or earning money or growing money, if you live next door to me and you're asking me for monetary advice, you don't know what it takes to make money because we are in the same boat. You need to be talking to the people up on the hill. You need to be talking to the people who have the ritzy homes. You need to be talking to the people that own their own companies. You need to be talking to the people who understand investment strategies. You need to be talking to those people who have 6 or 7 figure bottom lines, people whose net worth dwarf yours. Find that friend, find that confidant, and ask them about what you should do and how you should manage it. Follow them, shadow them, get information from them. Don't ask me. I'm in the same boat as all of you. You do not want me giving you financial advice. I can give you some information about where things can go. Tell me who they are. Well, here's the thing, John. Okay. We have people in our community who, when it comes to stackers, okay, and I will talk about I'll drop a couple names here in just a minute about some of the people that I go to if I have a hardcore question. Okay. Now these are people that I go to. These are confidants that I have when I'm talking about numismatic stuff, when I'm talking about collecting. But there are people in the community that if I want to know about investing in gold and silver, if I really want to know the bottom line, hard truth, what I have to do, then I'm going to reach out to somebody who I know is a distributor, right? Somebody who does that for a living. That's what they do. Now, we have somebody in our coin community who embodies that very, very well. And that is Mike from Mid America Coins. Mike from Mid America Coins is a distributor. He is both the collector, he is a stacker, but he understands the market. He understands what needs to happen. He can give you great information and great insight. Send him an email. Go to his channel. He doesn't do a lot of videos, but he comes on Ida's periodically. If you watch Ida Herring in the morning show with Ida, he comes on and say, "Hey, Mid America Coins, I would love to ask you a question." And he'll throw his information in chat and you can call him. Um, he's a brilliant guy. Now, Mike will tell you if you're buying something from him, Mike will tell you the what I will pay for you. He'll tell you bottom line, this is all I'm going to give you for it. But if you were to sell it to somebody else, this is what you should sell it for. He'll give you that. Keith at Coin Crew, again, he's another one that's really good at giving you the fair bottom line. Now, hey, what's up, Kevin? Good to see you. Okay, these are people that they're in my corner. These are people that I reach out to. These are people that I go to. These are people that I talk to. Um, because that's correct, Steve Lapointe. Mike from Mid America Coins is Keith's brother. Um, but I've asked a lot of questions, and I'll go to them. And so, now I'm not in their back pocket, and I'm not their protege or anything like that. But I know that I can rely on them. I know that I'm going to get good, solid, reliable information. I know they have things that I want to get. I know they're able to attain the things that I want to get. So they're better suited for me to ask them the question, "Hey, what do you recommend? How do you recommend? What kind of strategy would you recommend for somebody who has my um uh my income, my base? What would you recommend as a strategy for me to be able to collect these particular items? I want to both collect, but I also want to stack. What would you recommend?" Now, there's somebody else, and I do not reach out to him very often, simply because of a respect factor, but somebody who is a avid stacker, somebody who is an avid collector, who will give you a bottom line up front, um, will not necessarily give you advice, but will tell you his story, and that's Salivate Metal. Salivate Metal. If you've ever watched what he does and watched the stuff that's gone on, he gives a lot of good information. He does a lot of commentary. He reads a lot of financial advice. He puts information up. Where is it going? It's basically his ideas, concepts. He reads a lot. He talks to a lot of people, and he's affectionately called Uncle Sal. That is a term of endearment put on by many people who follow him because he really does have a genuine heart to help out. Now, do I recommend you just reaching out and saying, "Hey, Sal, I want to sit down with you and talk with you"? Yes. Yeah. Sal's a good dude. Um, he is generous and he's kind and he has a great heart for the community. And so he definitely is somebody. And these are people who really do understand um, stuff like that. Now, if I'm going to go to somebody who is a diehard stacker. This is all they do. There's no fluff. There's no collection. Um, it's going to be stacking for turnaround, stacking for profit, looking at increasing my yield. There are some other people in the community that I can go to. Now, this one is it's up to you who you follow. There's a lot of big names. I'm not going to promote anyone specifically in the stacking realm because I'm not a stacker. So I only see bits and pieces of this. I have one person that I would go to and ask. But again, because I'm a stack elector, right? Because what I do, the stuff that I'm interested in is both stacking because I enjoy the art. I like the medallic design. I like um, the designer, or I like the coinage that's out there. I like uh, the Perth Mint. or I like Geiger bar. So I specifically want to stack Geiger. So I want to go to somebody who really understands Geiger. I'm going to do my research and I'm going to find out who's going to be there. I'm going to reach out to Geiger and I'm actually going to send them an email saying, "Hey, I live in the United States. I'm really interested in your product. I would really like to know more about your products and distribution and things like that. Do you have any names of people in the United States that are hardcore distributors for Geiger that I could talk to, reach out to?" And then I would send emails and I would reach out to them. You find people by asking people. So John Shanks says, "Well, I don't know or who to ask, or how well it'd be nice if I knew who they were." Ask, right? There are tons of people in this community who have the knowledge, who have the capability, who have the insight to be able to afford you a little piece of advice and a little direction, right? It's amazing what the members of this community will do if you simply ask. Now, I'm not saying, I'm going to take a drink real quick because my throat is a little dry and I can smell the Kahlua. Oh, I didn't say that out loud. Scratch that, reverse that. Um, but there's a lot of people in this community who know a lot of information, right? Now, let's say that I'm not connected with Keith the Coin Crew, and I don't know who Mike is, but I do a search, and it comes up, and I find Coin Help You, and I go watch a couple videos of his, and I go, this guy seems like he knows what's going on. Reach out to him. Send him an email saying, "Hey, I just discovered you on YouTube," or "I just found out what's going on," or "I just found out what happened," and ask. Now, John, I will say something else. Okay. There are people in this community who are introvert, who are shy, who don't go out, and they have a difficult time reaching out. They have a difficult time getting to know people. They don't know how to strike up conversation. They don't know how to engage. I don't have that problem. Okay. The only introvert about me is downstairs. Um, and that is, I had to learn by having a military family. My dad was civil service, bouncing back and forth between bases, going all over the place. I had to learn to make friends. I had to learn how to talk. I had to learn to do that. It was a survival instinct for me. Moving back and forth, living with my grandparents, going to different schools, things like that. I bounced all over the place. My strategy was to try to tell jokes, try to be funny, learn as much as I can, really listen to people, try to understand. The one best piece of advice that I got was to be teachable. And that is, um, John Shanks says, "I'm not shy at all. I will talk to a stranger like I knew." Yeah, see, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying you're shy. I'm just saying that there are people in this hobby that are not, they're not, they just can't do it. They just can't go up to somebody and just chat with them. So how do you reach out in a situation like that? Hey, all, I'm Frostbite. Send me an email. Because what I'll do is if I can't get you the information, I'll help connect you to people who can. This is what I'm about. This is what this channel is about, right? Um, hey Frosty, you said there's a great example. I got an email from somebody last night. I had seen her in the stream maybe once or twice. Actually, didn't even really know who she was because I hadn't. I'm pulling up my email real quick. So I'm looking at my phone. I'm going to read this to you. Oops, no, wrong one. And it was one of those where I know that, um, I'm not a bill guy, right? I don't do paper money. I know a little bit about it, um, but I don't know a lot about. Now, see, my not coins again. There's another one who's very gracious and kind. There are so many people in the community, but here's the thing: you got to find the person that works with you. You got to find the person that works for you. You got to find the person who's willing to put in the time, but you have to show genuine interest in what um, what they do. You got to find general interest in who they are as a person. Now, John Shank says, "But I do keep my guard up." Right? Talk to everybody, trust nobody. That's a mantra that I've heard from a couple people, and that is something that trust is earned. Now, I'm the type of person that I will give you an ounce of trust. Everybody I meet up front, you will get an ounce of trust. If you burn it, if you bleed it, if you take it for granted, if you abuse it, you will never get it back from me. I am all about being generous and kind and helping people. But if you burn me, it's not shame on once, shame on you, twice, shame on me, crap with me. We're done. Unless there was something, some special circumstances that needs to happen. Because I will bend over backwards to make sure that my friends are taken care of. I will share every ounce of information I have with how to do a better video or how to do an opener. I mean, I had Mad Stacker say, in the video that I did in the first premiere train, dude, your introduction, you got to teach me how to do that. Cool. Yeah, no problem. I'll be happy to help. Because it's about sharing knowledge, right? We get so tied up and so locked up into our own little world and our own little silos that not only can we no longer agree to disagree, we just can't share ideas. Everything's proprietary. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're on YouTube and you make content, somebody's already stole your stuff. Odds are you probably stole somebody else's, right? That's why they call them standard user licenses, right? That's why this stuff happens. But what you need to do is you need to surround yourself with people who are of the like mindset. You need to surround yourself with people who have the same goal, the same strategies. Now, do they have to be exactly the same? No. Do you have to agree with them every time? No. In fact, arguments are healthy. 20% of a relationship. Now, I heard a relationship discussion, whether you're religious or not, whether you believe in it or not, doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Um, the gentleman that I was listening to was a preacher from Dallas, and he was talking about the Song of Solomon, and he was talking about this kind of stuff. But what he said was, when you look at relationships, 20% of a relationship is had in disagreement, and the disagreement itself, the argument itself, is not the problem. Arguing with people is not a problem. Disagreeing with people is not a problem. Being disagreeable in certain things, having your side of the fence is fine. It's acceptable. It's natural. It's normal. But where we screw up right now as a society, I'm going to get on a rant. So please bear with me. This is probably a side of Frostbite you've not seen before. I'm going to get on a rant. The only reason our society is hurting right now is because we cannot agree to disagree. I can have my viewpoint and I can absolutely and utterly disdain yours, but I can respect you as a person. I do not have to agree with your lifestyle. I do not have to agree with your sexual orientation. I don't care if you're a me, you, him, there, it. I don't care what you are. You and I can get along as people. I have my values, my core beliefs. I have my core strategies. You have your beliefs. You have your core values. You have your beliefs. We can agree to disagree. We are good to go. But the moment you try to force it down my throat that yours is the right ideology, we're going to have a problem. Because then you no longer respect me. You only give a shit about yourself. I just swore. I owe somebody some money somewhere. Uh, who was it? I think Tiger Stacker says that if you swear in his live stream, he has to put money into a swear jar. So I think I got to put some money into a swear jar. You won't hear me swear very much on stream. Um, but that's where our society has totally jacked up right now. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have a problem, me. I don't have to agree with you. Okay. There's there's a discussion that was had the other day, and you know, I listened to it and I was like, I wanted to say something and I wanted to engage, and I was coming back and I was driving, so I wasn't really in a situation to text or do anything. I was just kind of listening. Spring cans, you need my cash app? Maybe, maybe. But it's just I was listening to it and I'm like, this is a given right, right? We we owe these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equal, right? Um, I get to choose my freedoms. That's why we're here. That's what our nation was founded on. And for somebody to tell me that I can't do that, that I can't be a fervent believer in my moral aptitude, or that I cannot subscribe to my own value structure or my value chain, you can kiss the darkest part of my white ass. Because I'm going to tell you what, you are a human being and you are given a God given right to have your opinion. And I'm good with that. And I can tell you right now, I know there are at least two people in this stream that I will not see eye to eye on in a political standpoint. Geographic location, determinant of one, will not agree with standpoints or belief or structure. There are people in this point. Ass is not a swear word, it's an animal. Um, there are people in this group that they have never been and will never be supportive of military. And that is up to you. But I spent time, I bled, and I suffered for my nation. And I am an avid patriot. I stand by my country and I bleed for the crap that our country's going through. The fact that we cannot agree to disagree. The fact that we cannot do those kind of things. It makes me sad. I hurt for our nation. Now, I don't care if you think the military is horrible. I don't care if you think that the government sucks. I don't care if you did or did not like the current and or previous administration. That is your opinion, and we can agree to disagree on many of those fronts. I bleed navy blue, brother. I do. I love the Navy, but you know what? And I joke with me all the time because me is diehard Navy. And he's like, "Oh man, we're talking about bobbleheads and we're talking about you know, chair force and all that other stuff." But esprit de corps is a real thing. Frostbite needs to cuss more. Well, but the thing is it's like I don't care if you don't like the brothers and sisters who serve this nation. I don't care if you don't agree with the politics involved with it. I don't care if we sit down across the table and we sit down to have a cup of coffee and you're like, I'm pro Biden or I'm pro Trump or I hate Biden or I hate Trump. I don't care what your political thing is. If you and I can joke about it and we can laugh about it and we can leave at the end of the day knowing that as brother and sister, we love each other and that we're good with who we are, it's relationship. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. Anybody in here is relationship. Yeah, Eric, give your brother a fair winds and following seas next because he just gone down deployment, if I believe. Oh, jarheads, bobbleheads, care force, right? An army of one. Where did the king keep his army? In his sleevey, of course. Um, right. We got jokes. Those of us that did serve, right? Those of us that did spend time in. We have what's called esprit de corps, right? It's we bled, we suffered. Many people had paid the ultimate price in defense of our nation. You can serve our nation without being in the military. Absolutely can serve our nation. You can serve in local government, state, federal, whatever. You can be in politics. You want to do politics? That's fine. Do something that benefits society. You want to raise money for St. Jude. You want to raise money for Wounded Warriors. You want to raise money for the Fisher House. You want to raise stuff for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. You want to raise money for um, March of Dimes. You want to raise money. Do it. Just be an avid, productive member of society. That's all I ask for. That's the only thing I want to see from us. I am so sick and tired of people utilizing the system for a free handout and then complaining about how bad it is. Get off your butt and do something about it. That's all I want to see. Right? Boy Scout mom. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now. I did a giveaway, and some of you are aware of this, some of you weren't. And I'm not doing this to toot my own horn. I'm doing this because I want people to understand how much I support uh, the men and women who serve. Thank you, Pastor, for coming back. I appreciate you being here. Hey, what's going on, Peg Leg? Good to see you. Another military member right there, Marine. Hooyah! Along with Snoopy, we got a lot of military in the group right now. Um, and I appreciate all your service. But again, if you're not into the military, you're not for that. That's fine. I have zero issues. I did not make you buy silver, Eric. But I'm glad that I could lead you or persuade you to something that was that absolute beautiful. Um, it's a beautiful piece. Um, but again, it's one of those things where argue with me. Tell me I'm wrong, but don't tell me I'm wrong just because you believe you're right. Back it up. Show me. Explain to me where my thought process is wrong. But do me a favor. If at the end of our discussion you don't agree with me and I don't agree with you, shake my hand, raise your coffee cup, and say, this is just a topic of conversation that we don't need to have moving forward. And we can be good with that. Let's talk Christian Gobrecht. Let's talk some mint, not the US mint, because it sucks. Let's talk the Perth Mint. Let's talk Geiger. Let's talk the Royal Canadian Mint. Let's talk let's talk stuff like that. Right? Let's find our points. Let's find Frosty, it's all your fault for being a great friend. Thanks, Ringmaster Ray. Uh, but let's find stuff that we agree on, right? We all that whole can we all just get along? Yes, we can, but it's a choice. And it's a choice that people have to make. It's a choice that people have to consciously stop and say, I'm okay being wrong. Oh, Josh is stirring the pot. He loves the mint. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I have to kind of retract. I'm upset with the mint right now because of some stuff that's gone on. But the mint has the opportunity to really kick off um, this 2026 Coin Act. They really have the opportunity to do some good stuff. Now, there are some things that have been taken away, and you want to hear a real rant about this, go watch Pistol Packing Pilot. Okay. You want to go hear a real rant, go listen to him. But there are the opportunities within First Amendment. There are some things about the Constitution. There are some things that they can include that there we can still get a win out of this if the US Mint really looks at some of the things that can happen. Um, so, Eric, there's two aspects of the 2026 Coin Act. The first one is regarding commemoratives, and that's going to be the $2.50, the commemorative gold, and then the quarter. Those are going to be the commemorative pieces. But there is the normal coinage, the everyday normal use coin set. It is going to be all of those particular items are going to be affected. It's only a 1 year thing. Now, I don't know if it's a 1 year thing where they may turn back, but it'll be like the bicentennial where they did the drummer boy. There is that. I'll share some information with you on that. I was pretty confused about it. Talked with Paula Bloom. Paula shared me some specific information. There's verbiage and different coin acts. Different coin acts are in different stages. Um, and she got it when she went to one of the coin shows. They had the representatives there. They were actually talking about it. So she had the information more upfront. She had more up to date information. The information when you look at Congress.gov and you look at the bills that are there, the stuff that's passed, actions that are happening within the bills, it hasn't been updated there. So the Coin Act for the 2026 still shows that it's only been read to the Congress twice, but no action, no amendments have been taken. But there is news from the Mint indicating that certain things are being discussed. So it could be in that little happy medium where that's not actually law yet, but it's kind of in that oh, what do they call that when you have the lobbyist stage, right? Where they're lobbying for these particular items. So it could be in that realm, pushing more towards that Senate law. They do have the basics for it, but there are two components. There is the commemorative, and then there's the normal Coin Act. So there are two different ones. But again, to say that I'm against the mint, that's a little bit of exaggeration. I do have a couple things that I purchased from the mint recently, just because I wanted the peace dollar. Right, I purchased the Morgan dollar, hoping that I would like it, the proof, because I wanted the proof ones, but I just wasn't happy with the Morgan. I really did like the piece. Unfortunately, I didn't get a really good quality piece. My strike is kind of soft. I've seen other people that had really good luck with that. Matter of fact, just watch a short from oh, what is his name? I can't remember. Anyway, he showed a bunch of proof 70s. Um, oh, I can't remember his name. I'll put it in chat later on when I remember. Um, it's like party time or something like that. I can't remember. I can see his name. I just can't remember the name of the channel. But he was showing all of his proof 70s that came back from his Morgan and his peace dollars. It was pretty cool. Um, love your background, the ACDC Highway to Hell. Now, there's not very many people that actually know kind of what that where that came from. This was an old play on no, it's not Party Pickle. It's oh, it's like party it's they were at the Tulsa Coin Show. It's the kids that did the coin thing with Seeker and Rob. I can't think of their name. I can't believe I went absolutely blank. I just I just completely lost. Anyway, I'll think about it in a minute. But they had a bunch of first strikes. They had a whole slew of proof 70s, and they were just absolutely they're absolutely great. So um but there were a lot of people, yeah, something like that. I can't remember for the life of me what his name is. Pause spare time. There it is. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. Yeah. Um, he did a short on it, and he's like, "I'm taking a break from my normal." whatever, to look at this. And it's like, it's a really good turnout. He got a really good set of grading back. But anyway, y'all, thank you for allowing me. And again, you won't see this very often on my channel. Uh, the opportunity to kind of rant. But again, yeah, please smash that like. We're at 35 likes, 15 more, and I'm going to give. You know what? We'll do this. We got 28 people in the chat. If I can get to 50, I'm going to give you an ounce of silver. So you've got about, let's see, what time is it? It is 10:14, 10:15 Central or Central. We've got about 25 minutes before we're going to end the stream and send everybody over to Coin Crew for their auction. So if we can get to 50, I'm going to pull a winner and we're going to give away an ounce of silver. I'll have to go grab one and I'll show you which one it is. And then I'll go ahead and do something here real quick for all those people who are being great and continuously entering stuff into chat. Brown Sugar, if you win, I tell you, I'm going to freak out. Jessica, I have your information. You just won something. I'm going to send you a 1943 steel stent S mint mark. It's in pretty good shape. So I'll be sending that off. Congratulations, Jessica. Sorry I couldn't come to your stream yesterday. I tried to pop in for a minute. But anyway, thank you all for doing that and for putting stuff into chat. Again, the exclamation point winner is something that I'm going to do at random, but I do want to do the like things. So do it if you want, share it out. And let's get that up. We've only got 14 more to go. And you know me, we'll probably get to the end. I'll probably give one away anyway. Just because I want to thank everybody for doing that. So Shelbean says shared it out. Shelbean, thank you so much. I appreciate you very, very much. Always good. One thing, EMR, that doesn't work for anybody but me. One thing that I did when I did the Nightbot was I got with Great Scott and we were talking about it. And he's like, if you're going to use this command, you need to make sure it's turned on to owner only because people will be giving your stuff away all the time. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. Is there nobody in chat that wants to come up on stream? Like, I have sat here for an hour and just talked and talked and talked and talked. And don't get me wrong, I have no problem talking, but I would love for somebody to come up. Yeah, Josh. Hey, did you see my email? I sent you an email. There's if you didn't, I will follow up with that. There's something that I'm going to do. Talk with your significant other if you haven't already. I explained what I was going to do for the birthday boy. Who is this? Oh, I know who this is. What's up?
Hey, Frosty.
How are you doing? Loud.
I'm
Is it
doing
coming
good.
across really loud? Did I get really loud?
No, you're fine.
Oh, it says Chase is being loud in the background. Oh, I got you. Yeah, no worries, dude. Again, this is one of those things. I am all about trying to engage our youth in being interested in numismatics. So one of the things that I'm doing, and you've probably seen some of the shorts. Again, there was one this morning. Just watching the short video, and it's like this coin. I'm gonna just pull up a coin real quick. This coin graded at noon 66, and if this coin was at noon 67, and it was like, what the hell is noon 66? They couldn't even take time to get the AI to say MS 66. They had noon. Like the words they were using weren't even the correct words. I want people to stop subscribing to those channels. So I'm going to be debunking a ton of those videos. It drives me absolutely insane because it's total misinformation. And so I want to make sure that I'm engaging people in that. So, and there are there's a video coming out by a very known YouTube channel where I'm going to say, look, they give you this much of the detail. I'm going to tell you that, it's like if you have this coin and you don't spend it because this coin is graded at PCGS for $60. So don't spend it as $1. Oh, well, that's great. Awesome. But they don't tell you all the costs associating with getting it graded at PCGS. So you have a coin that's worth $60, but you're going to spend $20 to get it graded. You're going to spend $25 to get it shipped. You're going to spend $40 for return shipping. So now you're upside down $15. So was it worth to have that $60 coin graded? No, it was not. So even though people are like, well, you got to do this and no, it's misinformation. You're steering people down a road to lose money, not make money or save money from this. There are other ways to gain money from this. But again, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, buy the coin, not the holder. Hey, me, take care of yourself. I'll be following up an email with you here in a little while. I wanted to talk to you about those mint marks. You have one on your list that I want to talk to you about. But anyway, follow up. And then I did respond regarding the rating email. I apologize. I didn't respond back earlier on that. But anyway, take care of yourself. Have a good one. Enjoy the flea market and record any good finds you have. All right. We'll talk to you later, brother. Thanks for being in there. But yeah, Eric, that's exactly right. Right. We talk about this all the time. Here's the issue when you buy the coin, not the holder. And that is you can spend a whole bunch of money getting something graded and you don't get your money back from it. Right. You would be better off to sell it to a coin shop or person to person, point to point, in sales. We call this P2P. Than you would by having it graded and sending it back. Now, there are certain things that you definitely want to have graded. So I'm going to ask Jess. She's sitting here real quick. Have you ever sent any coins in to get graded?
No, not yet.
Okay. What has prevented you from doing that?
I'm still learning.
Okay. Now, you couldn't have gave me a better answer. Okay. If
Well,
you
there's
don't
still
know what you have, don't send it in. There are so
well,
many
there
people. I'm wearing. What shirt am I wearing today? Can you see it?
Coin Crew.
No. Man, that's not Coin Q. That's Live Coin Q&A. All
Oh.
right, you got to learn your logos, girl. Live Coin Q&A is amazing. And I don't know. She's probably lurking. She always does. Amanda, are you in here? Or Paula, are you guys lurking by chance? Live Coin Q&A, they've been really good to stand beside me in my journey over the last 8 months as I built my channel and tried to learn things and be better at sharing numismatic information. But if you have a coin and you want to send it and you want to get it graded, yeah, I'll see you over there about noon. We're doing the one at noon today, right, Eric? Noonish. Okay. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, they're doing a reveal show today at noon. Go over, check out Copper Coins. If you're not in there, go check out that channel.
Wow.
You'll like what they do over there. Eric, take care. Have a good one. We'll see you over in the stream a little bit later on. Thanks for being in here too. I appreciate all your support. But again, there's hey, vote for Pedro. Man, now we got some players in here.
Hey,
I think it may be one, but it may start early. Oh, maybe Chuck has one at noon. I believe I saw one at noon today. I'll have to double check. I may have the wrong day. But if you don't know, there's a lot of good people that can look at your coin and then tell them, hey, we're getting it graded. Now, there are a couple reasons you would want to get a coin graded. I'm going to ask Jess, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Can you tell me a reason why you would want to
Okay.
send a coin in for grading?
Because if you send a coin in to get graded, if it has lots of details in it or a percentage of the coin.
Okay, so something like, an error or a variety that you want to make sure that it's protected. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, would you do that if you didn't know its value? So, like, let's say that you get it graded and you could sell it for $35 and it's a penny. Would you still get it graded?
Um
And this isn't a test. I'm asking you a question, right? Would you do that?
I would probably have it graded to make sure.
Okay, so that's a great answer. Okay, one of the reasons that you want to have something graded is for authentication. Okay, now, do you have to get it graded to have it authenticated? No. You can have it authenticated by taking it to a coin shop and having them look at it. You can send really good quality images with a good detailed information to live coin Q&A. You're friends with Coin Crew, right? You're friends with people like that. You could take pictures and say, "Hey, I'm looking at this. Is this something that is real?" You can do that. If you're friends with the Durbans, you could send it to the Durbans. If you're friends with Big Flip, you could send it to Big Flip. It doesn't matter who it is. Find a trusted source in the community. Take some photos of it, good quality photos, not your little iPhone blurry, fuzzy stuff, but take good quality photos. And then don't ask them, "Hey, how much is this worth?" Send them an email, say something like, "Hey, I'm looking to verify the authenticity of this coin. Can you tell me if it's real? If it is, what are the things that I should look for to determine that it is real? What are the things that I should look for? If it's a fake, what is it that you found that tells me that it's a fake?" Right? And learn that way. Now, if I were looking at something like a Roman coin or a Greek coin or something of that nature, an old Egyptian coin, and I wanted it to be verified and something like that, right?
Mhm.
Keyword there, Jeff Davis, trusted coin, right? Trusted partner, not just any old coin shop, trusted. Make sure you know who they are. And if you don't have one, reach into the coin community, find out people who live in your area and do it that way. Always trusted. We only need 10 more likes for you folks for a giveaway of a silver ounce. Yeah, so there's a bunch of people. Ravenhawk is there's so many people that you can do this with. Okay, that give good quality information. Now there are people like when you have live coin Q&A, there are people like Sean who would allow you to send them the coin. They will look at it, review it, because if
Ooh.
there's any question, they could actually see it, and they would send it back. Right? That is absolutely phenomenal, Yoxnav. Cassie won a Morgan Carson City. That is so cool. Now, here's another thing. Okay.
Ooh, that's
Another
awesome.
reason that I would send it. Go ahead, Jess.
I was telling
Yeah,
Cassia that's awesome.
yeah, that is really cool. Another reason that you would want to send it in is because you want to. You want to. You want to have it
Yep.
encased. You're not worried about its numismatic value. You're not worried about what you could sell it for. You just want it encased. Do it. Go ahead. Right? If you're not looking to turn it for a profit or you're not looking for that, send it in. That's fine with me. I don't care. I don't have a problem with that. Another reason you would want to send in a coin to be graded is if you want it attributed. If you want it attributed, you need to know the type of attribution you want, and you need to. Yeah, Silver Seeker is awesome, Steve. Um, Silver Seeker's really busy, so he would be one of my later ones that I would go to. But for general information, Silver Seeker is great. But there's Livecoin
What
Q&A that actually make themselves more available to people.
what
Um,
is what is type of bushing?
Attribution. Okay, so that's a great question.
Attribution.
Okay, so an attribution is, are you familiar with the 1955 doubled die? Do you know what that is?
I'm not really sure.
That is okay. You know what? We're going to do a little show and tell. Okay. I am good with this. This is what my channel is for. All righty. All right. All righty. So let's show us a really pretty picture of the 1955 doubled die. And I'm going to share my screen. We're going to open this. Oops. What happened? Why did you go there? I don't want you to go there. No. Where did the PCGS? PCGS. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. If it ever shows up on my screen. All right. So we're going to share the screen. So what we're looking at, yes, is the 1955 double die. So what we're looking at is here. You see how these are doubled?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this is a really big example of a 1955, what they called doubled die obverse. The attribution for this is a double die FS01, DDO01. Okay. This is a doubled die, the obvious doubling there. You can see it in Liberty. You can see it in God We Trust. You can see it all the way through the coin. And matter of fact, when you're looking at the big portion of the coin down here, you don't even need the zoom. You can see it kind of with just your regular eyeball. Okay. If you have a coin like this, then you definitely would want to send that in to have the attribution done. The attribution tells you the type of error or the type of variety, and then puts it on the coin, and it allows people to know, one, it's authentic, but two, it actually tells you what it is. What's going on, Big Flip? I just mentioned your name just a few moments ago. Were your ears burning? I think his ears were burning because I mentioned his name. But so when you're talking about attribution, Jess, this is what we're talking about. It's about what is that coin. So it would be like a 1955 Lincoln cent doubled die obverse, and then it would say something like FSD or DO01, right? DD01. And the attribution changes depending upon which attribution you're utilizing it. So it depends on if you're using a company like Kaneka, or if you're utilizing Wexler, or you're utilizing copper coins. The numbers may be a little different. And so understanding the nature of that is definitely going to help you. So if you're sending a coin, if you want an encapsulation of a coin for attribution purposes, then absolutely go ahead and send it in. Okay, that's one of those reasons why you would do that. Another reason is if you have, and we talked about kind of authenticity, but if you have old valuable coins, now I'm talking about, a 1911 double die gold $2.50. I wouldn't send that to ANAX. I would send that to PCGS or NGC. Most likely PCGS, because PCGS is going to fetch a higher yield of price than NGC will, especially with the high end, especially if it's really, really high and it's something that could potentially go to auction. Okay. So there are reasons why you would want to send that in. Now, the video that I'm going to kind of tell them, it's like, well, yeah, this is a $60 coin, but if you have to look at all the costs that are incurred, there's no cost benefit to you. And in fact, it may cost you money to have it done. It's not worth slabbing the coin. Go ahead and sell this from a point-to-point network, right? Like the Romans, see Happy Chappy, exactly, right? You want to make sure that you're seeing something that's authentic. Now, here's something from my counterfeiting side. Now, I love counterfeit coins. I love learning about them. I like teaching people about them, how to identify them, how to avoid getting duped. Okay, just because it's in a PCGS holder doesn't mean that that holder is authentic. It doesn't mean that that holder is real. You need to understand things. So if you have any questions, again, the general rule of thumb here is if you're going to buy something, if you're going to spend money and you're going to purchase something, right? Find your trusted partner, find your trusted dealer. We have people in big flips here. We have Coin Crew coming up here in a few minutes in their auction. We've got different people that have auctions that they do really good work. If you trust and you support that channel and that's who you want to go through, that's fine. Just make sure you have a trusted partner that you will buy that stuff from. Okay, be very careful about buying from eBay. Don't buy anything coin related from Alibaba, from Etsy. Don't do it. I don't, it might even be real, but odds are it's going to be some manufactured piece from Indonesia, China, India, and it's going to be made of brass or it's going to be made of steel. It'll be anything but the metal that it's supposed to be. So just avoid those. It's just not worth it. So many rabbit holes of knowledge with coins. The more you learn, the more I realize the depths of my ignorance. You know, this is why I tell people, Pedro, I'm okay with being wrong. And this is why I absolutely love when Paula Bloom and Amanda and Coin Crew and Mrs. Coin Crew and Big Flip and these guys come into my channel. Chuck from Copper Coins, Eric from Copper Coins, and say, hey, you know, write information just slightly wrong. Because the only way you learn is through repeatedly making mistakes. Nobody ever learns something doing right all the time. Right. And so if you were at least aware and cognizant that you have a deficit in something, then that just means you have an opportunity to learn. And that's what I want to do with this channel. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I'm mentioning these channels and I'm getting text messages and all sorts of stuff. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Miss Coin Crew just sent me something. I asked her to do something. So I'm going to be happy. Raid. Who raided me? Who raided me? Yeah, we're getting ready to do a raid. We're going to go over and raid Coin Crew here in just a few moments. We've got about 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and, well, actually, we got like 10 minutes before they start the channel. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. But we didn't hit 50 likes. I don't know if there's anybody in here that didn't smash that like. If you haven't smashed it already, please go ahead and do so. I would really sorry for bugging you. No. Miss Coin Crew, you could never bother me. I enjoy being squirreled. It means I'm in good company. No, it's all good. So I have to look at it when I see names pop up on my phone. I always like to make sure I know who it is. We are at 42 likes. I'm going to go ahead and do a drawing. We got 43. I would still like to get to 50. But I'm going to give 2 minutes. Okay. We're going to do 2 minutes. I'm going to put a timer on my phone real quick. I want people to be putting into chat. I'm going to go ahead and do the winner here in just a moment. So if you're in here, be putting stuff in chat. Let's get the chat running for a few moments and I'll make sure that I do this drawing. I want everybody to be in. Okay. So if you're lurking, make sure you're putting your name in there. If you haven't already done so, please again, smash that like button. We're sitting at 44. I'm going to give it away anyway, just because I appreciate you all for being in here and listening to me jabber for the last hour and a half. Oh, I want to let everybody know with the end of this stream, I will have hit my 3,000 hours. So I want to thank everybody for doing that. So I still have to go through the official whatever and put in the request and do that kind of stuff. Hey, John, how? Hey, me, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, as soon as I leave here, as soon as I get in, I start doing the mod thing with Coin Crew, I'm going to go into Nightbot and I'm going to create that me wins thing. Okay. Yeah, I keep telling you, I'm going to do that. But I wanted to let everybody know right now I'm sitting at 2,967 hours. But it doesn't take into account Friday. It doesn't take into account the premiere train. It doesn't take into account yesterday's stream, and it doesn't take into account today's stream. Between the three of those, I should be sitting at about 90 plus hours. So I should be at that 30-10, 30-15 mark. So again, everybody who watched the streams, everybody who put that on their playlist, I want to thank you. I'm still 1,000 hours short from full monetization, and I'm still going to be working that. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to increase periodically. I'm going to be doing some different items with some other channels, some collaborative items. One thing I will never do is I will never do races and I will never do auctions. Those are two things that, due to respect for other people in the community, I will never do those. But there are things that I will do. I will do some additional art stuff with Bite Frost. We are going to do our first. It's not auction, but we are going to auction off the first artist beast for that, which is the comic for the Phantom, the drawing that she did, and the coin. We only need 2 more likes. Everybody, please smash that up. We got about 30 seconds left, and then we're going to go ahead and draw that. Hey, Mike Pepsi, what's going on? That's a name I've not seen on my stream before. If you're not already
Actually, one more like.
Oh, we're going to get this. We're going to get this. We got 50 likes. There we go. Outstanding. Okay. If you haven't already added something in here, please do so. Sky Quest, it's good to see you in here. All right. So we're going to run that winner chicken dinner. And the winner is Big Flip. All right, Big Flip, do me a favor. I don't need your email. I do need, so actually I need you to send me an email because I need your address. But congratulations. That's pretty funny. I'm always getting stuff from him. Now I get to send him something. All right, ladies and gents, I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you for getting me to the 50.
Congratulations.
Y'all take care of yourselves. Like I said, I'm going to be going and throwing in Coin Crew. If you haven't already done so, please throw in a link to that. For those of you who have come in the stream that haven't been in here before, if you're not subscribed, it's free. All you got to do is hit that little button. I would definitely appreciate it. I'm sitting at about, I need to check real fast. I think I might be at 1,200. If not, I'm 1 or 2 short of 1,200 subscribers. So again, thank you all for the love that you guys have shown me for that. I really sincerely appreciate you all continuing to grow the channel and doing that. I'm 3 short of 1,200. I'm 1,197. So again, thank you all. We got the link in there, so I'm going to go ahead and pin that. Why is it not? It's not doing that. Anyway, the link's there. Make sure you do that. Again, thank you all for being in here. Thank you all for the support. We'll see you over at Coin Crew here in a moment. Take care of yourself. Be blessed. Love you all. Jess, thanks for coming up and spending some time with me. Be well.
You're welcome.
You have a good one. And we will talk to you later, y'all.
The sun woke me up.
The sun, well, that's what the sun is supposed to do. But y'all take care of yourselves. We'll see you over in Coin Crew. Take care. Be blessed.
Have a great day, y'all.